I'm going to teach you the absolute best method when it comes to gluing up and installing door trims. Now, if you disagree or you have a better method, let me know in the comments. If there is a better method, I will steal it and we'll make another video on this door over here. I'll definitely give you credit, so don't worry about that. But let's get to what I believe is the absolute best method for installing door trims. Step number one, marking out the reveals. The reveals are going to help with any of the slight warpage that you might have in your materials. If you're just doing one or two doors, you can definitely just use a tape measure and a sharp pencil. You want to have a 3/16 or 1/4 inch reveal. Either one is fine. Now, if you're doing more than one or two doors, you want to make yourself one of these handy little reveal blocks. It's going to be a lot quicker and more accurate. If you want to see how to make one of those blocks, I will link a video in the description where I show you how to do that. The next thing here is to measure. Now, if you're horrible with a measuring tape, you can rough cut the material, bring it up, and then just mark it in place. That is not the way that I do it. It's pretty slow and tedious. I will show you how to use a tape measure properly here. Now, first thing is to get a good tape. I highly recommend the Stanley Fatmax 16 footer. It's the perfect finishing tape measure. So I'm hooking onto the bottom. I'm measuring up to the reveal. Now, if you're not quite as tall as I am, you may want a little stool, just so you're looking horizontally onto the tape and the line. Once you measure that, I write down the measurements on each of the sides and the header. You can see here that I have a little plus, and I just use that so that I can get measurements. These tapes go to the 1/16 of an inch. If it's a little longer than a 1/16, I put a plus. For the header piece, I usually just hold the end of the tape right on the pencil line, and then I read the measurement and write it down. Once I get everything written down, the next thing you want to do is make yourself a little map. I just draw the door on here, boop, 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 nothing fancy. Write down the measurements, and then you're not going to cut the wrong angle with the wrong measurement. Let's talk about cutting to pieces. The biggest difference between yourself and a professional is going to be a nice, stable, level cutting platform. If you have a miter saw, I highly recommend a stand. Now, if you're looking for one, this is the cheapest one that you can get off Amazon, and it is pretty sweet. I'll link it down in the description. As well, if you want to see how I made these little plywood wings and increase the dust collection, I will put a video that I made on that down in the description as well. Now, to cut the side pieces, you want to start off with the bottom with a nice clean 90-degree cut. Cut off any of the factory mess. Then you can hook onto that clean 90, run your tape well past and lock it in place. I will start my mark right on top, right by the tape, and then I will transfer it down to the edge of the casing. That's going to be the most accurate. I'll mark an X and a little angle slash on the top so I don't mess up the cut. For the cuts, you want to just roughly eyeball it down the length of the blade like a rifle sight. You want to leave it a little bit long, and then I like to just make that first little cut, and then I'll make a little micro adjustment and cut off the entire pencil mark. Now, for the header piece, I would start with the left-hand side. That's going to be the most awkward of the cuts. Get that angle cut on the left side, then take the inside of the miter, line it up with a 90-degree surface. Here I'm just using my workbench. Once that's perfectly aligned, hook onto the 90-degree surface, measure over, lock the tape in place, make your little mark, transfer it to the edge, X, angle swipe. Then you can use that angle swipe, make sure you get the saw set to the right 45-degree angle, and then just make an easy right-handed approach cut, cut off the entire line. Now, you can skip this step when you become an egomaniac finishing carpenter, but it's never a bad idea to check the pieces for length before you glue them together. We are going to pre-assemble this thing before we install it, and we're going to end up with just beautiful looking miters. You want to use CA glue with activator. I will link this stuff in the description. And the key here is you want to put down some paper or some wax paper just so everything doesn't glue together and you're left with a disaster. To start off, you want to test fit things here to make sure everything is going to work before you start gluing. This stuff bonds together very, very quickly, and you can be in for a real surprise if you don't do the test fit. When it comes to the glue up, you have to get the thick CA glue. Medium or thin is no good. Tip your first left piece there onto its edge. That way you can get the glue nice and even on there. Put a decent amount, but just keep it away from the face a little bit. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a squeeze out disaster. The next thing here is the activator. So grab that header piece and just shake it up. Spray it on kind of from the backside. That way you're not going to get it sprayed all over the finish of the piece. Once that's ready to go, put the two tips together, rotate that piece in, make sure that you're flush. If you see any glue squeeze out, just quickly wipe it off with your index finger. You don't want to let this CA glue set up on the face here. It's going to be almost impossible to sand, so that is key. Then you want to just hand clamp that thing together for about 10 seconds. The next thing here is to move on over. Again, you want to test fit. Make sure that nothing's going to be impeding you. The pieces are fitting nice, they're good and flush. And then with the glue again, don't glue up the header piece, flip the other leg on its end, then you can get the glue nice and even and thick on there. And then grab the header piece, pivot the whole unit up, spray it from the back side again with the activator, pop it down, tip down the other piece, put the tips and pivot the pieces into position. Any squeeze out quickly with the index finger, clamp that for about 10 seconds and you're good to go. The next thing I do here, this is optional. I like to take some white wood filler or any kind of filler. This stuff was old, so I just took a couple putty knives, put a little bit of water on the one and kind of mixed it up just so it's a little easier to work with. And then I just fill in that seam. It doesn't matter how good you do here, you're always gonna have a little bit of a crack. But the thing that makes it nicer than other methods is all the faces are lining up, so you're gonna end up with just a flawless miter here. If there is any 90-degree profiles, you wanna just take that smaller putty knife and just kind of clean out that 90. And now that that filler's on there, you can just pick this whole unit up and I'll show you how to install it. Now to install this thing, I'm just lining it up with the pencil reveal marks, getting it nice and centered. Then I'm using an 18 gauge nailer with 2-inch nails. The first shot should be right in the middle of the header on the top, going through the drywall and the framing. That way you can slightly tweak this thing around to get it perfectly lined up. Then you want to just secure the header in place with about 6 nails. Then you're going to start working your way down away from the miter. You don't want to start flexing this thing back and forth before you get it nailed on up here. Otherwise you can crack this apart. As you're nailing down, you want to keep the gun kind of going this way here. That way the chisel points of the nails are going to turn up and down and they're not going to want to blow out the side of your jam. If you're finding that some of the nails aren't getting set, you want to adjust the depth on your gun and set those other nails with one of these little nail sets. The spring-loaded nail set is pretty handy. You can keep it in your pocket and you don't need to have a hammer. Get all the way to the bottom here and you can see I can just push that casing nice right onto the pencil line, nail that thing in place. And then hey, if you want to see how to perfectly fill these nail holes and sand up these miters to get beautiful results, go ahead and check out this video right over here. I recently have come to the realization that I'm probably not the smartest man in the entire world. What's going on with my hands here? 7 minutes? Wow.